Time right now, new video coming into the newsroom from overnight shows an American flag that was burned in front of the White House. Now, this came just hours after President Trump signed an executive order enacting stricter penalties for flag burning. Secret Service officers can be seen dousing that flag with a fire extinguisher. Jay Carey, who identified himself as a
Welcome to Pegasus versus the World, where we take on challenges, comedy, trending topics, and some travel. City boy! City boy! I absolutely hate people who burn the American flag. I don't hate the people. I hate the activity of burning the American flag. I hate it to my core because it adds to this demoralization phase that America is currently going through that I don't know if we're going to get out unscathed, if I'm just being honest. So I absolutely despise it, but you guys have to hear this out because I think the concept of America is you having the right to burn the flag. Like, that's what made America great. As much as we hated Colin Kaepernick taking a knee, he had the right to do that in his right to protest. I don't know how I feel about this. It doesn't really matter how I feel. What do I think of this? So we're going to dive into the weeds of this. I'm going to play this, and then I might have to look this up because they said an executive order, penalties for burning it. What does that look like? But if your way of expression, we want freedom of speech and to be able to express ourselves. This is a slippery slope, and this has been happening. So people don't realize a lot of the stuff that's in the riffraff, and I don't get too crazy because I'm not here to be like a political pundit. I just talk about things I see that interest me. I do not want to dive really deeply into politics like that, but there are these undertones of controlling people's speech. And you've seen it kind of implemented in the UK at some capacity under the guise of hate speech. And a lot of people from the UK will actually get behind this concept. They believe but I'm I feel like I'm a true American in the face of it's like, no, free speech is free speech. It's even speech you hate. It's things that you disagree with. This is what makes dialogue and conversation great. Because when someone has a different perspective, and we're seeing this in real time, you're seeing these fringe groups currently become super popular now. Like, there's these fringe groups, I'm not really going to get into names, but y'all should know what I'm talking about, that were canceled and they were taken off the internet, allegedly, like taken off YouTube, taken off all the big platforms. So they created their own platforms, or they stayed on the little fringe platforms, or what people would consider fringe. I don't consider it fringe, but what people would consider fringe platforms. And they created these communities and movements of diehard people. And now they're being thrust into the mainstream conversation. And I think it's funny, and I think it's great, and I think it's amazing because you deserve it. You deserve that for trying to mute people and cancel their opinions and their ideas and voices, because it's better to hear a bad idea and a bad opinion publicly than it is to cancel these people and mute their voices. That's what I think. So anyways, what do I I want to go into the stipulations here because, the one thing I failed to mention, there are politicians on the left and right. And I want to highlight the right because a lot of my friends on the right think that, the right can do no wrong. And not everyone. I think a lot of people on the right are awake to the fact that they're just like, look, I disagree with this, but this side is better when we're talking about there's less radicalness, there's more traditional, And if you lean towards that, I understand where they're getting at. They're like, oh, this is the only side you can rock with if you believe in these certain things. And they make a really great case. But what I will say is both sides of both parties are contributing to speech control mechanisms, let's say, that are starting to go into play and control the way people express themselves or speak. And I just think that's dangerous, and that's fundamentally not the principles that America was built on, in my opinion, whether you agree with what they're saying or not. So I think my preface here, my main fundamental argument is that, look, as much as I despise when people burn the flag and do crazy, stupid stuff like that, they have a right to do it. And that's what makes America great and makes it a wonderful country, because they do have that right. And every time someone burns a flag with their God given right, I'm not saying it should be propped up, but us people who see that, it should fire us up to want to wave our flag or be a better representation of America. And it actually red pills people, right? Because muting someone and canceling them and not letting them speak their mind or their voice, whether it blue pills them, in my opinion. Take it how you want. Take it how you want. I'm not in here to get more people to be Republican. I'm not here to get more people to be leftist or liberal. I'm here to bring people into my world, and people who have reasonable thinking to maybe be like, oh, I feel you, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here for the people who are stuck in this middle zone, because the outer zones get pretty extreme at times. And this is coming from someone, I'm going to keep it real. I got to come to the front of the congregation and confess. I used to sit down during the national anthem at basketball games when I was younger, probably like 16, 17, maybe 18-ish. Yeah. I was pretty radical in my thinking, growing up, seeing all the slavery movies, Roots. I was like, this country had done nothing for me. This country is evil. It's oppressing me, these things. And this is why I get on this platform and speak up, because it's important that you guys see someone like me who came from something where I would sit down for the national anthem at basketball games and stuff like that. And not as a protest, as a middle finger to America, like, F you, like, I'm entitled to this. I'm black, and because this happened to me, I should have had a silver spoon like these suburban rich white kids. That's how I honestly felt. Took a lot of lived experience, a lot of working, a lot of lived experience to mature out of that thinking and be at the place that I'm at now and be able to have these conversations with you. So remember where this is coming from. This isn't coming, especially for the left-leaning people who freaking send me death threats on the interwebs. This conversation that I'm giving is not coming from the angle that I wasn't there with you at one point. And my vision and view of America and the world shifted as I traveled the world, as I had lived experience, as I've grown up. So let's see where we're going here. I think this is interesting.
Time right now, new video coming into the newsroom from overnight shows an American flag that was burned in front of the White House. Now, this came just hours after President Trump signed an executive order enacting stricter penalties for flag burning. Secret Service officers can be seen dousing that flag with a fire extinguisher. Jay Carey, who identified himself as a 20-year combat veteran, says he did it to protest President Trump.
If you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail, no early exit.
I mean, come on, y'all. Keep it real. Keep it real. The party of free speech, MAGA, make America great again. Do you think this is making America great? And I want you to remember and listen to me. This is from one who hates flag burning. I think we should still pledge allegiance to the flag and have a little more honor for our country, respect for our country. But also, that country comes with this concept of freedom, and freedom is dangerous. We learned freedom was dangerous in the year 2020. Do you really think this isn't dangerous? There's gonna be people who hate America on American soil, and they're gonna be Americans. Oh, they ain't American no more? They're not Americans, dog? They don't have access to free speech? No, because you hang your flag high. You're the only one who has access to free speech and the freedom of expression in a public setting. Really? A year in prison? A year in jail? Bro, that is where these MFers start getting kind of like, what are we doing? Just think about it for a second. Take your time. This is from someone who I feel pretty patriotic, especially at this point in my life. Locking people up for a God-given right? Well, I don't know if y'all consider that a God-given right. Most people be like, 2A is my God-given right, which I believe as well. But to be able to speak your mind freely, there was no hate there. It's a protest. He didn't say these people are inferior to me and da da da. I don't know, man. Let's listen. Let me hear. I don't like this. I don't like this, man. I don't like this. Oh yeah, and I voted for Donald Trump. I absolutely do not like this, dog. Period. And then just to preface it, I've never been that guy like, I'm a Trumper, I'm a MAGA guy. I just felt he was the better candidate than Kamala Harris. Period. I did the right thing. I voted for him. But this shit, I don't know about this, dog. Y'all are tripping, and people going to roast me in the comments, and I don't give a Don't forget your American principles and what America stands on. Freedom, dog. Like, there's going to be veterans that was like, dog, I fought, I lost my leg, I lost my buddies for your right to be able to do that shit, to burn a flag if you want to. Where are we at, dog? Where are we at? Where are we at? I don't know, man. Crazy.
If you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail, no early exits, no nothing. You get 1 year in jail. If you burn a flag, you get, and what it does is.
And I understand his base is going to love this because his base loves America and loves the flag, the concept, make America great again. And I rock with that concept heavily. This ain't it, dog. Y'all can say what you want. Y'all can unsubscribe. Y'all can hate me. Y'all can do whatever. I'm telling you guys, this is dangerous. This is impeding on your right to protest, in my opinion. And it's just the pendulum has swung, right? Y'all wanted to go protest. They let motherfuckers in the Capitol. They locked your ass up. Now it's swung from that to this. Doesn't make it right. I'm going to stick with that.
Incite to riot. I hope they used that language, by the way. Did they?
Yeah, incitement is.
Incite to riot. And you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail.
It's important to note that flag burning is protected by free speech. It's a form of protected free speech. In this case, according to the Washington Post, Kerry is charged with violating a law against setting fires at federal parks.
See, I'm cool with that. Hold up. Let's go back. You shouldn't be able to set fires publicly unless you're in an area that is set up for that, right? Like a bonfire or whatever, a campfire, whatever. If you're not allowed to put fires publicly, you shouldn't be able to burn a flag, right? But on some freedom of speech, like if you're allowed to set fire to something in this area you're in, do it. But hold on. Oh man, I hope you guys are still here because I missed a huge point. Remember that dude went to jail for burning a rainbow flag or a Black Lives Matter flag? Remember that? See, this is why I be talking, dog, because the left, I said the pendulum swings, bro. It's true. I forget the dude. He was like, I think a Proud Boy. And he went to jail because he lit on fire a BLM flag. They're like, oh, that's a hate crime. And so this is where it gets disturbing. This is where when I say the left manipulates the freedom of speech shit. But this is right now is an idea of the right manipulating your freedom to express yourself, your freedom of speech. Now, if you're not allowed to light a fire in the area, give them, hey, here's your ticket, here's your fine, whatever. You're not allowed to shoot guns in certain areas. You're not allowed to light fires. That's just a part of being in a civilized society. But just saying, hey, man, you ain't allowed to burn the American flag because, I said it is crazy, dog. And it's way overreach with your power of executive orders. And the people on the right side who champion this bullshit, there's no difference from you than the people on the left side who champion people going to jail for protesting BLM and lighting a BLM flag or a pride flag on fire, in my opinion. There's no difference. Well, there actually is a huge difference because the American flag stands for all of us and America is the greatest country. Well, we could argue that at this point. But, hey, America is our homeland, da-da-da-da. And those flags are just random flags, right? But what I'm saying is the premise, the concept of expressing yourself through burning something publicly shouldn't be taken, right? That's one of the main things, one of the things we fight for as Americans, in my opinion. Let me know. Damn, I might get lambasted on this one. Or some of y'all might be like, no, you got a point. I still rock with Trump. Two things can be correct at the same time. I could still be like, yo, I think Trump is still way better of a president than Kamala would have been. I don't agree with this. Period. But, honestly, I've been doing these commentary pieces, really trying to get what's on my mind out in the ethos. and then just not go crazy reading the comments. Because I take time to really think these things out for the most part. This one's off the cuff. But I think about a lot of this stuff every day because I would like to make this world better for my children, and I would like to see a better America. And that might just be a dream. Who knows? But that is the honest to God truth. And I think this is a bit of overreach. Anyways, let me know what I got.
City boy, city boy.